Hello guys, it's Lunar here and welcome back to another PUBG Xbox One video, and today we have more news for the game because it's the monthly update, and that means it's a bit of a bigger one than normal. But with the game being unplayable for many, the entire focus this month is on crashes and performance. This update then contains no new content, it's all about trying to solve those issues, and we will go over the changes. First, as always, if you do find this helpful, a like and share is appreciated. I'll start off by reading the little message that comes with the patch from PUBG Oreo. It says, "Hello everyone, this is our promised June the 26th patch. The entire focus of the patch is optimization and stabilization to improve the player experience. No additional content is being introduced with this patch. Recently, we released 2 hot fixes with the improvement originally planned to be included in this update. As they were ready earlier than expected, we wanted to get them to you as soon as possible. The hotfix addressed a memory leak issue, and this hotfix reduced the number of crashes remarkably. Our Matchmaking Hot Fix improved matchmaking logic to reduce instances of players being stuck in queues for a very long time. Some players are expressing concerns that they're still having issues with lengthy matchmaking times, and one of them of course, and we plan to release a dev letter later in the week to address this issue." So that's a little bit from PUBG Audio. Let's take a look at the first list of changes, and they are to stability. 2 changes have been made to reduce crashes related to being out of memory. They've optimized the total memory required by both maps, with a significant reduction in total memory required, especially for Miramar. The user interface has also been optimized to use less resources. Now, even without any memory leaks, there are instances where players would crash due to being out of memory. This is mostly due to the huge amount of memory required to process maps, and they've reduced the total amount of memory needed to process each map by a remarkable amount, which will lead to fewer crashes. There are still crashes to be fixed. The goal is to prevent crashes entirely for all players, and they will continue to work as hard as they can to improve stability on that end. I'm very much hoping that they've fixed most issues so we can then get onto some new content rather than all these crash fixes and stuff. But those are the changes to stability, and hopefully they have improved things for you guys. Next, we can look at optimization, and this is mostly what this update was about. As mentioned in the previous dev letters, the team is prioritizing making improvements which will increase performance at the start of the game when landing, as well as when driving vehicles, as these have been the most common areas of performance-related complaints from players. PUBG tries to load all resources within a 1 kilometer radius of your player to ensure you're seeing everything you need to see to properly enjoy the Battle Royale experience, although loading all the resources within the radius is negatively impacting performance. Therefore, they're continually making improvements to the way resources are handled to improve optimization. They've already implemented prediction-based level streaming and elastic control for characters, which are just 2 examples of systems which reduce the loading of unnecessary resources. They will continue to work on improvements of the efficiency of these systems to improve performance, but here are all the performance-related improvements made in this patch, and there are quite a few. Number 1, character movements have been optimized to use less resources and improve performance. In the patch preview, they said they were aiming to reduce the total resources required to render characters by 50%. That is still the goal, but requires further testing to ensure stability, but they're going to keep us updated on the progress of that. Vehicle locations update have been made more efficient for stationary vehicles to improve performance. The position of every vehicle in a 1 kilometer radius of the player is updated really frequently to ensure vehicle movement is as smooth as possible. Prior to this patch, frequent vehicle location updates were also being requested for every stationary vehicle in a 1 kilometer radius for the player, negatively impacting performance. They've changed the way vehicle locations are updated for stationary vehicles, which will improve performance in vehicles, and of course performance within that 1 kilometer radius for everyone. Vehicle effects have been optimized to improve performance without affecting visual quality. When vehicles were moving, many resources were being used to generate visual effects, and they've optimized the effects without diminishing their visual quality to improve overall game performance. Bullet impact effects will no longer consume resources if they aren't seen by the player. Now, when a bullet impacts any surface in the game, an effect is displayed. Previously, all bullet impact effects within a 1 kilometer radius of the player were consuming resources, and that was the case even if the effect wasn't seen directly by a player. Now, due to the sheer number of bullet impacts that occur in a 1 kilometer radius of the player, having all of these effects consume resources was negatively impacting performance. Now, bullet impacts not directly seen by the player will not consume resources, improving performance, especially in close quarter combat. And for me guys, personally I think that is the best fix in this entire update. It should hopefully improve performance a lot, especially in the final circles where you have so many players shooting at each other And as you probably already know, there's a lot of times when you're in the top 10 and the game crashes, and this was one of the main culprits. Hopefully that's been fixed with this update. Next, character shadow rendering has been optimized to improve performance. While they tried to have each character's shadow be an entirely accurate representation of the player, both in shape and movement, this was having a negative impact on performance, so they've changed the shape and movement of character shadows to significantly reduce their impact on performance, and I don't think many of us care too much about having super accurate shadows. The final change for this one then is terrain and grass have been optimized on both maps to increase performance. So those are all the changes to try and increase performance in the game, a lot of optimizations there. They've also made a couple of additional changes to improve world loading times when landing as well. So parachutes have been optimized, they now use less resources. The physics while free falling have been optimized, and the efficiency of the physics used while free falling upon exiting the plane have been improved. And along with this change, bullets will no longer be able to impact players in free fall. Players can still be shot while parachuting, but this change only applies to free falling players prior to opening their parachute, as it's almost impossible to get to the ground, pick up a gun and shoot someone who is free falling through the air. The change won't really affect anyone in gameplay, but will improve world loading times when landing. So now you can shoot people who are parachuting, but you can't shoot them before the parachute, so there's no point in trying. But like it says, most times you probably won't have a gun by the time someone lands anyway. Guys, that just leaves us with bug fixes, and there's just a couple. Fixed a bug where sometimes footsteps weren't heard during or after ads or aiming down your sight. Fixed a bug where the position of a teammate sometimes wouldn't display correctly on the minimap. And that is today's big monthly update. No new content, but I knew that already as PUBG Horio has mentioned it all week, just performance changes this patch. But they're going to continue to push out updates and hot fixes as quickly as possible from now on. I'm not sure they're going to continue on from this point with monthly updates, hopefully we'll find out that soon. But going forward, you should expect to see a lot more changes like there was last week, where we had hot fixes when they were done. So far, this update seems quite good. Several players have said to me that they have noticed a big difference. I have also, but I haven't really had time to play too much of the game. I do really want to know more from all of you though, if there is a noticeable change to the game after this update, given how long it's been worked on. Do you crash less? Is there less lag, rendering, rubber banding? Does Miramar work better now, particularly on the original Xbox One? Let me know in the comments. Guys, that is it for this video. The June monthly update, all about fixing the game. Let's pray that it's finally worked for most of us so we can get some new content in future updates instead. Tomorrow is the final day of the weekly Headhunter challenge. I'm guessing they will end and start a new one tomorrow for us to do. I will cover that along with any feedback from today's update. Click any links on the screen for similar videos and subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss any of my PUBG content. I want to thank all of you for watching, and I will catch you all next time. Peace out.